welcome. I'm Atika Farooqui. What's with the winters these days? It's nail-biting chill. I hope you're warm and keeping those around you warm too. The world needs a lot of love, truly. And this show is all about cinema and love. This week, it's a mixed bag. I tell you what's on the surface and more what's behind the stage. We make you meet a kingmaker today. Too much to tell you actually about the show, so let's begin with the headlines. Mission Majnu is an espionage thriller combined with a love story that qualifies for a one-time watch. Bird Box is this week's recommendation. It's a chilling essay of a life-threatening virus that makes one kill himself. Meet the man behind Kaun Banega Crorepati, Scam and many more content marvels. The CEO of Applause Entertainment. And Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia reveals how he convinced Amitabh Bachchan to sing for Silsila. Let's talk about Mission Majnu that has released on Netflix this week. It's an espionage drama. Mission Majnu centers on a fictional raw operation aimed at incapacitating Pakistan's secret nuclear program in the 70s. Also knitted into this drama is the love story of an Indian secret agent and a blind Pakistani girl. Amandeep Singh, played by Sidharth, lives in Rawalpindi under the assumed name of Tariq Hussain. He works as a tailor's assistant. He falls in love with the tailor's visually impaired niece, Nasreen, played by Rashmika, and marries her in the face of stiff opposition from the girl's father. Aman is the son of a man who had sold his soul to the Pakistani forces and thus had killed himself in repentance. Amandeep alias Tariq is a man in the same profession but determined to wash away the sins of his father. He is a man who puts his job as an Indian spy in foreign soil and his love for his country at the forefront in all life-threatening situations. Pakistan's covert counter moves in the wake of India's first nuclear test in Pokhran in mid-1974 is what Mission Majnu is all about. Directed by Shantanu Bagchi and written by Parvez Sheikh and Aseem Arora and Sumit Bhatija, they want us to applaud the heroic sacrifices that unsung undercover agents make in the line of duty. And they do it in a sweet way, just as the story needs to be told, and not in a chest-thumping manner that many stories about India and Pakistan are told and mounted. Balancing between a romantic storyline, action scenes and an organic sketch of how spies undercover function, giving many years of their lives and living dual lives. This film does have its heart in the right place. It's focused on a story, a man, his predicaments, father issues, his love for the kind-hearted woman who he married despite a scathing class difference. It starts off as a decent story, arousing sufficient interest in a man who's up to some business in various cities of Pakistan. The business of uncovering the atomic mission of the country. The movie is set in 70s, hence enough animosity between the two countries because of the two wars has been set in. It is followed by several more action scenes and shootouts, including a heroic scene atop a moving train where a supposedly realistic espionage movie turns into an action film. The climax was emotional to me as the camaraderie between Rashmika Mandana and Siddharth is unfailingly real and heartwarming. Siddharth as Tariq displays an innocence that is required from a man in this role, a reward, less ambition that puts one's life at stake every minute of their mission. The psychological issues of a man with a past and love for his wife in the present gives him a lot of opportunities to shine in emotional roles, highlighting the risks of men in this pursuit. With a good supporting cast of Sharib Hashmi and Kumud Mishra, it does have some scenes that establish the world it is talking about truthfully. With the Razi by Meghna Gulzar already released and watched, any spy espionage thriller is bound to be compared with that authentic portrayal of a spy's life and workings. This one may not have reached that scale, but is definitely an easy watch. Let's talk about this week's recommendation. Well, this week I recommend a film called Bird Box, released in 2018. It's an American post-apocalyptic horror thriller film directed by Susan Beer and written by Eric Hieserer, based on the 2014 novel of the same name by Josh Malerman. The film follows the character of Mallory Hayes, played by Sandra Bullock, as she tries to protect herself and her two children from entities which cause people to look at them to commit suicide As the name suggests, the people must confine themselves into small bird boxes from where they cannot see anything outside or they will die. In a post-apocalyptic world, Mallory Hayes informs two young children that they will go down a river in a rowboat. She sternly instructs them not to remove their blindfolds or they will die. Netflix producers have made an algorithmic chiller that uses sensory deprivation horror as its key genre and theme. There's good scenes and smart ideas, tense situations and sequences like an early attempt to head out for food, which turns out quite dramatic. Kicking off with Mallory's brutal river babysitter mission, it's very, very bold. That opening lecture lets Beer establish Bird Box's rules, which, with the children involved, become even more difficult and traumatic to bear. On the flip side, the what, why and how of the crisis never gets answered, though, even when the movie gets over. But the film has the same stillness and spine-chilling horror of films like Don't Breathe and A Quiet Place. If you like this genre and are not too faint-hearted like me, I suggest you can watch this. Look what I have to do, only for you. Moving on, here is someone I would like you to meet. A true blue veteran of the media industry, Sameer Nair's media content house, Applause Entertainment, which started as a fledgling studio 5.5 years ago, is now creating laurels, winning awards and doing the extraordinary. Having produced some of the most successful shows on streaming platforms such as Scam 1992, Criminal Justice, Rudra, Sameer Nair, the CEO of Applause, looks to embark on a new chapter, like adapting the Amar Chitrakatha comics, a biopic on Mahatma Gandhi, a series on the assassination of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, as well as a sequel to Scam 2003. We meet the man himself in his office. How are you?
Very well, thank you so much.
20 years
20
have
years.
passed since then. I still do have memories of you. Why didn't you ever speak too much in those times?
I still don't speak much.
What is the definition of a star to a production house in this time? And who is the real star of a project these days?
Well, you know, first of all, I don't think that the star system is dead or is
It's not
gone
dead,
away.
yeah.
I think stars remain important, and I think anyone who succeeds becomes a star, and anyone who continues to succeed then goes on to become a bigger star.
Superstar,
So
yeah.
in many ways, I would think that, you know, like much like the Khans are still really strong and, you know, predominant in our life. Ajay Devgan, we did Rudra, the series,
And it's
and
gone
that's
on
the
to
number
be-
one series of the year, and that is again star power for you. I think in many ways a Pratik Gandhi or a Pankaj Tripathi have become stars.
Yeah.
They are most sought after and wanted. There is a certain degree of audience recognition. I think a star is a brand. It is something that, you know, it announces its arrival as soon as it comes. So you say a series with Pratik Gandhi or a series with Pankaj Tripathi is its own selling point. Then after that you see the series and all of that. So I think what OTT and streaming has done is that there used to be films and then there used to be TV. So TV was all the daily soaps and all of that, and then there was film.
Yeah.
So much like, you know, film is like the national cricket team and TV is Ranji Trophy.
How do you put your money onto a project? What makes you believe कि ये चलेगा, ये नहीं चल सकता है? What's the bet?
I don't know whether you can know that for sure. So I think what we do is we go at it in stages. So to start with, I mean, the idea must draw us, the original, the first idea, you know,
First
like, you know,
concept.
what a unique idea, or how clever, or how smart, or wow, we should totally do this. Then I think the next stage is the writing of it. Now, if it's an idea, then it's got to take shape and get a life of its own. So we have different stages. So first is, of course, the idea. The second is the writing, the people involved in the writing.
Do you have in-house writers?
No, we don't have in-house writers, but we have in-house creative teams
Okay.
and work with. So the people involved in the writing, the showrunner, the director who's going to be directing it, you know, how it's all coming together, the budget, the casting, you know, these are all the different moving parts. So once these pieces start falling together, you get a better and better sense of it that yes, we are headed in the right direction. And yes, this is sounding more and more like a good idea, and we should now pull the trigger and go into production. See, at the end of the day, it is called showbiz.
Yeah.
So there is show and there's biz. So you got to keep the biz in mind and try and do things sensibly. So like I had read this many years ago that for the 21st century, I think I read in 99 or 2000 while we were at Star, that in the future it is going to be really important for people to try and be generally right and avoid being specifically wrong.
There are a lot of people with good ideas, but they don't know how to approach. Like for example, in one of the interviews you did say that work on it as much as you can, so that when it comes to us, we don't have too much work remaining on it.
That's actually the best way to do. In fact, there's a show that went into production for us in October. I had met an actor on a set who told me that he and a writer had been developing something, and so would you like to listen to it? And I said, yeah, okay, sure. So he came here the next week with this writer, and they started narrating this show to me, which we liked immediately. And he said, I've written it all. So we said, okay, then let's continue with these narrations. We heard, I think, 10 episodes in about a week or 10 days and greenlit the show, and it went into production. It's finishing shoot. So this whole story is like under 10 months of, but he had done all the hard work, you could argue, that he had already written it, so it was easier to read it. Many times people come with a germ of an idea and then say, now will you give me money so that I can develop it. So my advice to most writers always is that the cheapest thing to do if you are a writer is to write, right? Because you have the talent, it's within you, and you can just do it. It costs no money.
Wonderful.
And if you can write it, then it makes our decision easier. Actually, in many ways, what is Applause doing? What Applause does is it goes and makes the show and gets it ready and then shows it to the platform completed. So for the platform, everything is ready. They have to just make a buy or not buy decision. They don't have to do anything else. They don't have to say, it's a good idea, now who can be cast, who will direct, how will we, nothing, it's all done. We just, we just take them to a theatre and show them on a screen, and they watch it and they say, wow, nice show. Or, don't like it. Easy. So I think the more that the creative person makes the buyer, whoever has to buy, their job easier, I think the better it is for the industry.
What about the ones that don't get
well, so far we've been fortunate that we've not had that we've not had that incident yet. But again, it's maybe around the corner, who knows. But as Harshad says, risk hai to ishq hai. So ऐसे ही operate कर रहे हैं.
और अब हर्षद के बाद तेलगी के ऊपर आप बना रहे हैं. So you have a couple of new projects. I'm told one of them is Telgi, in continuation with Harshad. Another one is Gandhi. Another one is on Rajiv Gandhi's assassination. The other one is
documentary.
Yes, to talk about that. So much more coming.
So there are many things happening. So one is of course all the subsequent seasons. So like the first one off the bat will be City of Dreams season 3, which comes up in, I think, by March. Scam 2 will happen, Telgi. Gandhi is the big one that we are working on. It unites two of our key people, Hansal and Prateek.
Wow.
We bought Ramchandra Guha's books. We have Siddharth Basu on board as a consultant and a sort of a...
For all the fact checks.
All the fact checks. Weber Vishal is writing it. Karan Vyas will also join. Mukesh Chhabra is doing casting. That's a big thing. It's a big thing for us. We want to tell the story of Gandhi. We want to tell the story of Indian independence. And we want to tell the story of the birth of the nation. So, it's more like a monumental epic than just a biopic. So that's going to be a big one. There are a whole bunch of other new shows that are going to happen that are in development and production. Rajiv Gandhi's assassination, which is being done by Nagesh Kupnur. So all of these will happen now. Criminal Justice 4, various of these shows. Documentaries is something we wanted to do because we think it's an important thing and it's a different type of storytelling. It's something that's always interested me.
It's much needed in India. I don't know why does India not put that much of focus on documentary consumption.
Actually, Films Division used to do a lot of it before. Then in the 70s, 80s, 90s, it sort of died out. And now Indians have forgotten what documentaries are. So we have to sort of bring it back. It's a tough genre. But still, we are doing a few. So some of the interesting ones we are doing is we are doing one series on what we call Finding Ram. Which is, it's based on this book, In the Footsteps of Rama. So it traces the journey of Ram, Lord Ram, from Ayodhya to Sri Lanka and back, and tells 3 stories at the same time. 1, the mythology, 2, the religion, and 3, the history and modernity.
Wow.
as it comes along. So, like all the legends,
Wonderful,
all the
yeah.
things. It's just a simple story. Apar Shakti is the host who
Okay.
takes you on this crazy journey. We are also working on animation. We acquired the rights to the Amar Chitra Katha catalog. So we want to animate those comics in different ways. So we are doing the Amar Chitra Katha, the ACK Junior. Then we are doing all the Panchatantra tales and all of that.
Wonderful.
And then we are doing the two big mythos, which is Mahabharata and Ramayana. So we are starting with Mahabharata.
But don't you develop FOMO? I develop FOMO, fear of missing out. कितना content लगातार आ रहा है, सबके बारे में आपको पता होना चाहिए, नहीं?
I've got this new phrase I've come across called JOMO.
What is
It's called the joy of missing out. So that really works for me and my unsociable spirit. So, I love to miss parties, events, any kind of function that may involve other human beings. I'd be happy to miss it.
Okay. Thank you for giving time to this human being. I'm so glad that you did not miss out on this. We had such a lovely conversation.
Thank you so much.
Very proud of the work that you're doing. And I'm also, I'm very enamored by your personality also. The personality doesn't make too much noise until your work actually comes out. Not too many people in the industry are like that, and I really value you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Time for a short break on the show. When we come back, we have Padma Vibhushan Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji talking about his collaboration with Amitabh Bachchan and Yash Chopra in the movie Silsila. तेरी बाहों में है जानम मेरे जिस्मो जा पिघलते. So many memories from that movie by him. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. Legendary musician Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji was recently honoured in Mumbai with the first Ghulam Mustafa Khan Award. My colleague Vishal Chatkara spoke to Hariprasad Chaurasia about this big honour and how he convinced late Yash Chopra about recording songs in Amitabh Bachchan's voice for the film Silsila. Remember that iconic song in Mr. Bachchan's voice? Rang barse. How did that happen?
The very first Hazri Padma Vibhushan Ustad Ghulam Mustafa Khan Award being presented right now to Padma Vibhushan Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji.
Hari ji, you'll be honored with first Ustad Ghulam Mustafa Khan Award in Mumbai on January 17. So your thoughts on the big honor and क्या आप भी perform करेंगे उस event पे सर?
परफॉर्म करना चाहूँ तो भी नहीं कर सकता बिकॉज प्रोग्राम पहले से लोगों ने प्लान कर लिया है. बट आई एम फॉर्चुनेट टू गेट दिस अवार्ड एंड थैंक्स टू द कम्युनिटी एंड थैंक्स टू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. दे हैव चोजन मी एंड फॉर दैट आई एम थैंकफुल टू देम. एंड उस्ताद Ghulam Mustafa Khan was a very close friend of mine and we were staying together. He was in Bandra and I was in Khar. यहाँ तक कि वो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री के भी जो गायक गायिका हैं उनसे शिक्षा लेती थी और गजल वगैरह बहुत अच्छा सिखाते थे. शास्त्रीय संगीत तो है ही है लेकिन वो गजल के बहुत ही ज़्यादा शौकीन थे और मैंने ऐसे स्टेज पे नहीं सुना लेकिन उनके शिष्यों के द्वारा सुना. बहुत ही अच्छे कंपोजर थे.
फ्लूट के बारे में ऐसा क्या आपको इतना क्या चीज है जो इतना आपको फैसिनेट करती है और आप क्या फील करते हैं जब व्हेन यू आर प्लेइंग इट?
एक साधु को देखते हैं हम जब क्या फील करते हैं? सादगी है ना. तो कहीं नहीं कि ब्यूटी पार्लर में जाकर साधु में देख के लिए अच्छा मेकअप करा रहे हो. तो हमारे शास्त्रीय संगीत में एक ऐसा वाद्य मैं सोच भी नहीं सकता था जिसमें तार नहीं, चमड़ा नहीं और सिर्फ एक सूखा बांस का टुकड़ा. कैसे ट्विस्ट साउंड इतना सुंदर आता है कि सारी दुनिया को अट्रैक्ट करता है. भगवान श्री कृष्ण के साथ गोपियां पीछे पीछे भागती थी सुनने के लिए. क्या बात थी. तो ये सोच के मैंने कहा मैं भी ट्राई करता हूँ. देखो गोपियां तो नहीं मिलेंगी लेकिन थोड़ा अगर म्यूजिक मिल गया और बजाने लगा तो बहुत ही भगवान से प्रार्थना करता था और वही हो रहा है, वही हुआ है. और आप लोगों का प्यार है संगीत के प्रति जो हमसे बातें करते हैं, सुनते हैं और दुनिया को मेरी आवाज भी सुनवाते हैं, मेरा म्यूजिक भी सुनवाते हैं.
हरि जी, आप एक बहुत पॉपुलर नेम है हिंदी सिनेमा से जुड़े हुए स्पेशली शिव हरि की बात, जो आपके कोलैबोरेटर थे शिव कुमार शर्मा, who was a famous संतूर माएस्ट्रो, आप एक फ्रीक्वेंट कोलैबोरेटर थे यश चोपड़ा के साथ. मैं क्या, अगर आपको मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूं टू जॉग योर मेमोरी एंड टेल अस योर मोस्ट लॉन्ग लास्टिंग मेमोरी ऑफ working with Yash Chopra and composing songs for films like Silsila, Chandni, Lamme and Dar.
I've ever met such kind of personality. When he was working under Yash Chopra ji as assistant, since then we were together and we were working together. He was the person who recognized us and who gave us chance. I will never forget his support. And then we were well known in film industry as music director. And the first movie was Silsila.
Yeah.
I remember when I got chance to work with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, I was fortunate. Wow, I said, wow, wonderful. And then he wanted to sing. I said, wow, that's more wonderful because we belong to the same state,
Yes,
the same city,
Allahabad.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said, why not? Wow, so beautiful voice. Then I composed a song for Holi celebration.
Yeah.
And it was really wonderful because I did not get a writer who could write a holy song beautifully. And thank God his father was here in Bombay and he said, I will surely do this needful. And we were sitting together and talking and he was writing and that was the only song he wrote for the Silsila. He never wanted to come in film, but that was his blessing for us. And I will never forget the song since many years. Last many years, I tell you, it's playing at the time of Holi, and it will be playing how many years that I don't know.
रंग बरसे.
रंग बरसे भीगे चुनर वाली.
अरे रंग बरसे भीगे चुनर वाली, रंग बरसे. रंग बरसे भीगे चुनर वाली, रंग बरसे.
And then I remember. Then I thought, wow, so beautiful voice. Amitabh ji has got so beautiful voice. So I thought, why not use some shero shairi instead of music? Do you remember here kahan aa gaye hum?
Yes.
And in between there is music, but music becomes soft, and he starts, speaking about love and emotion, and wow, beautiful.
मगर प्लीज शेयर कीजिए हमारे साथ इसकी बैक स्टोरी, ये कहाँ आ गए हम उस गाने की.
मैं वही बता रहा हूँ कि मैं जी को थोड़ा सा आइडिया दिया कि अगर ऐसा हो तो कैसा हो. वो मेरे पर बहुत गुस्सा हो गया कि भाई म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर हो या कोई डायलॉग डायरेक्टर नहीं है कि हम डायलॉग के डायरेक्शन में. मैंने कहा गाने के बीच में है वो, रिदम को रखिए, उसके ऊपर ये कोई डायलॉग बोले, इतना अच्छा वॉइस है कि म्यूजिक के साथ में लगता है ये म्यूजिक सबसे अच्छा म्यूजिशियन है जो वॉइस से वो म्यूजिक बना रहा है. तो उन्हें बहुत थोड़ा सा गर्मा गर्मी हो गई, लेकिन जब उन्होंने सुना रिहर्सल और जावेद साहब ने लिखा भी बहुत अच्छा, तब उनको आइडिया है कि हाँ क्या सुंदर लग रहा है, कितना अच्छा लग रहा है. And then he added that with the music, and music was down and his voice was up. Wow, so beautiful. Everybody remembers.
मैं और मेरी तन्हाई अक्सर ये बातें करते हैं, तुम होती तो कैसा होता, तुम ये कहती, तुम वो कहती.
And with that, we've come to the end of this week's show. Next week is Pathan. We will talk about that too and a lot more. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Well, mine is somewhere in the middle. Where do you stand? Gham itne pade hum pe ki aasan ho gaye. Hai? Take care of yourself and we meet again very soon. Ciao.